God bless America for this fucking game. Hello my lovelies, I'm Ray and welcome to Grand Old Academy. This is a game that's right now on Kickstarter and it's basically a visual novel of you are Maury America and you go to a new school and you meet and it's kind of like a dating sim with all the Republican candidates. Now, note there was an intro before this before I got on this page, but I was too scared to record it, so whatever, we're gonna get into this shit. It's a new game. Grand Old Academy, the most prestigious private boarding school in the United States, rich with history and tradition. The alma mater of hundreds of the world's most powerful men and women. The type of school that no student could ever dream of enrolling in unless they had incredible amounts of talent, connection, or money. Preferably all three. The grandest, the oldest, Grand Old Academy, my new school. That'll be $28 even. What? Your fare, you owe me $28. Oh, right, sorry. The taxi driver's words snapped me back into reality. I was standing in front of the main gate of Grand Old Academy, gazing for the first time upon what was going to be my new home. This is going to be like a live fanfiction reading for y'all. Very low editing on that part because that's what I'm here for, quality. Or lack thereof. Also because I don't feel like getting this perfect. Fuck that. This is literally a dating sim about American presidential candidates. Fuck that. I looked in my pocketbook as the cab driver retrieved my 2 suitcases and set them down on the curb beside me. He slammed the trunk of the cab shut with a loud metallic thunk, making me jump. I took an embarrassing long time to count out $28 from the wad of unfamiliar currency in my hands. Finally, I had the proper amount and I handed it to him with a relieved smile. The driver took the bills, looked over them, and stuffed them in his pockets. I picked up my suitcase and took a deep breath. That was it. This was it, the crucial moment, the start of... Ahem. I glanced over at the driver who was standing on the curb beside me, looking at me expectationally. My mind began to race. What did he need? Had I done something wrong? Was I forgetting? Oh, a tip. I need to tip you. Well, if you insist. I opened my pocketbook again and began scrambling through it. I was so overwhelmed with embarrassment that it took me 3 tries to get my money out, my clumsy, numb fingers betraying me. I'm so sorry. I'm from Japan, and we don't tip there. It's considered rude, actually. I have questions. Alright, so when I first saw this, I thought that Maury America was supposed to be, like, representation of America. Why is she from Japan? Like, I'm not complaining, I'm just wondering. Why? Shouldn't she be from Europe? If we're gonna do this legit, shouldn't she technically be British? I don't fucking know. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad. I just got off the plane this morning. This is my very first time being in the United States, or anywhere outside of Japan for that matter. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was saying. My mouth was just acting on my own, replacing the awkward sounds with equally awkward chatter. I frantically tried to pick out a $5 bill, but all the bills looked the same to me. The scowl green faces of men I didn't recognize looked up at me, disapproving, judgmental. Well, if you can't figure out how you're going to survive at the academy, they seemed to silently ask me with their stern frowns. Frowns. What the fuck is a frown? At last I found a bill that had a 5 on it. I quickly handed it to the cab driver, glad to be free of the glaze from the angry bearded man. The glaze! There was this glaze everywhere. It was getting all over my clothes and it was sticky and people had assumptions. The driver seemed a bit taken aback. Thank you very much, miss, and welcome to America. I feel like she gave him a $20 bill instead. He quickly got back into his cab and drove off. I was suddenly struck with a pang of uncertainty. Was that a 5 I just gave him? Or was it a 50? I had a feeling that this was going to be a long semester. Chapter 1, welcome to the party. Oh no. Oh no. I somehow gathered enough courage to walk through the gate. I emerged with an immaculately manicured quad, crisscrossed with busy sidewalks. I had seen pictures of the campus while I was applying, but I still felt a bit overwhelmed. It was so much bigger than what I expected. Dozens of students walked by, some striding purposefully, some strolling casually and talking with friends, some dawdling and enjoying the pleasant weather. None of them seemed to take notice of me, which was fine by me. I was holding one suitcase in each hand, clutching the handle so hard my knuckles were turning white. I felt as if these bags, the only familiar objects in this strange place, were all that was tethering me to the earth. I was afraid that if I let go, I'd float away. It's a nice change to be reading something good instead of the terrible fanfiction I normally read. Maybe across the ocean back to Japan. Or maybe off the face of the planet altogether. Hey, over here! Is that supposed to be Megan? Why is there a Y? I snapped back out of my reverie by a cheerful, high-pitched voice. I turned my head and saw a short blonde girl with perfectly coiffed hair waving at me. Coiffed? Is that how you say it? I've never heard that word before. Hello? She ran over to me and beamed. You must be the new transfer student, right? Oh, yes. How did you know? Well, your luggage was my first cue. Oh, right. The girl giggled and held out her hand. My name's Megan Kelly. I'm going to be your roommate for the rest of this year. I reluctantly set down my bags and shake her hand. And would you look at that? I didn't float away after all. I'm Mori America, but I suppose you already knew that. It's nice to meet you. Megan smiled and clapped her hands together. We're going to have so much fun together this year. I just know it. Come on, Mori. The fuck? Come on, Mori. Let's get you to our room. I'll help you with your bags. Thank you. I fought back the urge to bow, reminding myself that I was in the United States now. I handed Megan the small of my suitcase and began walking through the quad. Mori is my family name, by the way. You can call me by my given name, America. No, call her Mori. That's a much cuter name. Oh, that's right. Japan is one of those backwards name languages. That makes more sense, actually. When I first read the email about getting a new roommate, I remember thinking that Oh, wait, I'm a fucking idiot. That makes more sense, actually. When I first read the email about getting a new roommate, I remember thinking that America was a weird last name, especially for a Japanese person. Not that it's exactly a common first name either, I suppose. Megan led me past imposing brick academy. The fuck am I? See, this is why my fanfiction readings are heavily edited, because I can't read for shit. Megan led me past imposing brick academy buildings, exceptionally tender tender laws. Oh, can that be a meme now? Tender lawns. Anyways, exceptionally tended lawns, the spacious courtyards. Grand Old Academy certainly was grand. And that building over there is... Coming through. No, coming through. Fuck you, Trump. Ugh, how rude. Who is that? That's Donald, the biggest jerk in the whole academy. He only transferred at the beginning of the year, but he already acts like he owns the place. I noticed that Megan had clenched her free hand into a tight fist. And the worst part is, his act is working. He's one of the most popular kids in the debate club, even though all he does is insult his opponents. I feel like this person doesn't like Trump either. Good job, Dev Senpai. Good job. Megan's face was flushed and she was breathing more heavily than was warranted by this stroll across the quad. She obviously harbored strong feelings for Donald. Not the good kind. Eventually, Megan shook off her anger and returned to her cheerful baseline. I love how the music just comes back. Is this like Megan's theme song? It's very happy. Nearly all the students we passed waved at Megan or shouted a happy greeting to her, and she responded to all of them in kind. So why did your parents name you America anyways? Did they always expect that you'd end up in this country someday? That's actually just a coincidence. In Japanese, America phonetically means delicate flower. Wait, really? Oh, neat. I guess. There was a moment of silence. I wonder if I should say something to break it. I want to ask Megan about herself. So, what are you studying here at the academy? Political science and law. I'm not sure what I want to do after I graduate, but it'll probably be in one of those fields. I mean, most high schools in America don't offer classes in law. Just another reason why Grand Old Academy is so special. Oh wait, is this like a high school? Oh, this is like a high school. Oh no. Plus the fact that it's a boarding school, and that it only has 3 grade levels. Is that not normal? All high schools in Japan have 3 grades. In the United States, In the United States, regular high schools have 4. Huh, that seems so strange to me. What are the schools like in Japan? No, what's everything like in Japan? I want you to tell me all about it. The little glimmer in her eyes, so dramatic. Megan's face looked so eager. I didn't know how I could possibly tell her everything I knew about my home country, but her enthusiasm made me want to try. I'll do my best. And of course, I'll answer any questions you have about the United States. Sounds like a good deal. Megan continued her tour, her energy and enthusiasm showing no signs of waning. That's Keystone Dorm, and that's an Independence Hall Academy building behind it. Over there are Green Mountain dorms and granite dorms. I almost read that as Green Mountain Dew, and I was like, Mountain Dew and Doritos? I am tired. There's sure are a lot of dorms. Yeah, there's like 50 of them. 50? Get it? Why? How big is this goddamn school? 50? Okay. I was like, bruh, my school only had like, I don't even know. Not a lot. Well, most of them are pretty small. Equality Dorm only houses about 20 students, for example, but the biggest one, like Golden Dorm, has over 1,000. Again, how big is the school? Wow. We'll be living in Sunshine Dorm, which is the third largest and the furthest south on campus. Well, Aloha Dorm is technically further south, but it's not contiguous 48 dorms, so it barely counts. The dorm system sounds like it would be hard to get a hang of. I am trying my best, I promised. Speaking of Sunshine Dorm, here we are. Megan pointed at an imposing L-shaped brick building that was accented with white columns and pink stuccos. I don't know what that is. The nervousness I had felt earlier was beginning to return. What if I didn't like my room? What if I didn't find my classes? What if... Marco! Jeb! Hey, guys! I snapped out of my panic by Megan's cheerful shout, and my nerves settled back down. I followed Megan's gaze and saw two students dressed in fencing gear sparring on the front lawn of the dorm. The taller of the two lowered his foil and waved at Megan. Seizing his chance, the shorter student darted in and landed a blow in the center of his opponent's chest with his foil. Hit! Ugh, nice one. I'm trying my hardest. These voices are never gonna stay consistent. I will try. The shorter student removed his mask and grabbed a bottle of water off the grass and took a swig. Fuck! I was too off put by the person. I don't know who that is. He was, well, in a word, he was gorgeous. I wouldn't say gorgeous. I would say disturbing as fuck. I am uncomfortable by this guy right now. He had beautiful brown eyes, delicate lips, a heart-stopping cheekbone. Oh, and heart-stopping. Oh, God. Somehow his hair was perfectly styled, even after being under his fencing mask. His brow was shining with sweat in the afternoon sunlight. It looked almost as if he was sparkling. That was a dirty trick, Marco. No, he saw an opportunity and took it, just like I taught him. I am uncomfortable here. How old are these people? I don't know how to feel about any of this. Oh, God, I'm trying to stay as, like, straight-faced as I can. I just can't. As he said this, he took his mask off, too. Like Marco, he had brown eyes, but instead of sultriness, the student's eyes exuded warmth. Fuck. This is gonna be difficult to read. He wasn't exactly handsome, but his face had a sort of awkward charm to it. He reminded me of a puppy. Oh, God, he does. He's like a little puppy. A fucking old-ass puppy. And I'm disturbed by this because I'm talking about fucking Jeb Bush, but fuck, man. Also, who the fuck is Marco? I don't know who Marco is. Shit. He was sweating a bit more than Marco, but instead of making him sparkle, it just matted his hair to his forehead. Hey, same. You're the best mentor guy class for Jeb. And you're the best student. They high-fived. I like the sound effects a lot. Sunshine Bros! What? What? That was fucking weird as shit. And just how long is that attitude gonna last once you two start debating against each other? Megan's comment was playful and the boys chuckled. We've agreed that we're not going to attack each other, no matter how intense the debates get. Jeb knows I've got his back, and I know he's got mine. They high-fived again. And who's this lovely lady accompanying you, Megan? Oh, God. Your teeth are sparkling, sir. This guy's making me very uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know. I look at him, and I'm just like, sir, stop. I felt the blood rushing to my face as soon as I heard Marco call me lovely. And good Lord, that smile. I tried to formulate a response, but I couldn't piece together any words. Luckily, Megan came to my rescue. This is Moy America. She's my new roommate. Oh, of course. It's nice to meet you, Miss America. Kill me. A pleasure. Should I give you a tour of... I got it covered there for now, Jeb. Let's not overwhelm America on our first day. Right. Well, I'm sure I'll talk to you soon, America. The two of them redonned their masks, picking up their foils, and resumed fencing stances. Megan led me to the front door of the dorm. They seem nice. Jeb and Marco, right? Yep, those two are inseparable. They're both on the fencing team, both in debate club, and they are the co-RAs of the Sunshine dorm. Marco's a first year, but Jeb pulled some strings to get him the position. That was English, I promise. Megan held the door open for me, but I stopped dead in my tracks right before entering. Wait, they're the RAs of this dorm? Yeah, what's wrong? But they're boys. Yeah. The dorm's co-ed? Yeah, all the dorms in the academy are. Is that the problem? My heart swam. Back in Japan, I would have never imagined living in a co-ed dorm. Relax, it's not a big deal. Each floor is divided by gender. Girls have on odd floors, boys on even floors. That made me feel a bit better, but still, I've never so much as held hands with a boy back at home, and now I'm living in the same building as them. I noticed that Megan was looking at me with concern, so I tried my best to play it cool. Oh, yeah, that's totally fine. Totally not a big deal. Not gonna stress about it. Trust me, America, you'll have a great time living here. The voices sort of like merged together, and I'm trying my hardest not to, but that was a weird thing to do. She patted my shoulder with her free hand, looked deep into my eyes, and smiled. I felt encouraged. Accepted. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. It's dark. I'm scared. Megan, please. Megan, what are you doing? I'm scared. I took my first step into Sunshine dorm. The coolness of the high-ceilinged hallways was a welcome relief to my surprisingly warm February afternoon outside. Why is it warm on February? Megan led me up 2 flights of stairs and a bit further down another hallway. She stopped, then pointed out one of the doors. This is it! The plain wooden door was adorned with a simple, dry-easy whiteboard with Megan Kelly and Moy America written on it in neat block letters. Megan pulled an eagle-shaped key out of her pocket and locked the door. As an afterthought, she took one of the other keys off the ring and tossed it to me. Here's your key. Don't lose it. I nodded and slipped the key into my pocket, making a mental note to get a keychain of my own soon. I followed Megan into her room. No, I corrected myself. Not her room. Our room. Aw, it's cute. Actually, yeah. After living in a dorm, this is a really fucking nice dorm, but this is pretty legit. The room itself was fairly ordinary and dividing roughly in half by the furniture placement. That was weird. It was immediately clear that the right-handed side of the room was Megan's, since it was the only other half that looked lived in. I was a little surprised to see how low-key Megan's side looked. Going off what I'd seen so far, her bubbly personality, combined with the expectation I had from American movies I had seen, I expected to be greeted by an explosion of pink pillows, string of Christmas lights, and glitter everywhere. Instead, I saw a decor that was businesslike, bordering on austerity. I need to look up a lot of these words because I don't know half of them. I am a born American. I don't know half of these words. Fucking kill me. Her neatly made bedspread was a subtle, muted maroon. Her desk was organized without a single pen or piece of paper out of place. My dream. She did have a couple of stuffed animals on her bed, but they somehow seemed to be sitting with the posture of dignified businessmen there for a meeting rather than floppy friends. And instead of posters for bands and movies on her walls, there were only a few tasteful framed pictures of landscapes. I mean, at least they're tasteful. The single expectation was a pin-up style photo taped to the front of her wardrobe, depicting a hunky boy with lifting weights. A hunky boy. Fuck. I looked at Megan questioningly, and she blushed. Oh, that's... Once you meet Paul Ryan and see for yourself, you'll understand. As plain as Megan's side of the room was, my side was even plainer. A little depressing, actually, with those empty walls and that bare desk. Megan seemed to be on the same page. Don't worry, we'll liven up your half of the room soon enough. Did you have space to pack any decorations? Ooh, it'd be so cool, some Japanese posters and paper lanterns and stuff in here. Oh, no, I didn't bring anything like that. That's okay, we'll figure something out. This is going to be your home for the next 6 months, after all. It's important to make it feel like home. That's actually very true. Megan heaved my suitcase onto my bed, then walked over to the window and threw the curtain open. The sunlight that streamed in made everything instantly look more cheerful. The view was lovely. Right below us was a lush, green front lawn of Sunshine Dorm, where Jeb and Marco were still sparring. Off in the distance, I could see the elegant neo-colonial building that Megan had identified as Peach Dorm. And further beyond that stretched the rest of the campus, both intimidating and exciting in this unexplored vastness. I felt as if a manifest destiny to leave my mark on it. Fuck it. The next few hours passed rather uneventfully. I packed and put away my belongings while Megan chatted more about the academy. filling me in on school policies, what the best food at the dining hall was, what teachers to avoid, that sort of thing. After unpacking and taking a much-needed shower, it was already past 7 in the evening. Megan whisked me away to the dining hall and we squeezed in right before it closed. As we ate, jet lag started to hit me hard. Megan was understanding. She didn't insist on engaging me in conversation. I was just happy to enjoy a hot meal in friendly silence. Don't we all? As soon as we get back to our room after dinner, I flopped onto bed, ready to fall asleep for the next 15 or 20 hours. But before I can even fully shut my eyes... What are you doing? You can't go to sleep now, America. Tonight's the first debate of the year. I absolutely won't let you miss something this important. Debate? Who's debating what? Oh my gosh, did I seriously forget to tell you about the debate club? You mentioned it a few times, but that was all. Why is this such a big deal? Oh, it's only the most... Sorry. Oh, it's only the most important, prestigious, competitive, demanding club in the entire school. Pretty much every student dreams of being in the club someday. And if you're lucky and talented enough to get in, you're basically Grand Old Academy royalty. During the second semester of every school year, the club picks out the best of the best from their ranks to have a series of public debates that will showcase their talent to the whole school. And then students vote the single best debater in the entire school. You know, big deal and all. Winning the debate tournament is the highest honor you can achieve at Grand Old Academy. Well, second highest. See, each year's winner goes to compete at the inter-school debates. If you win those two and defeat the champion from our rival school, Dem High, well, you go down in history. That's nice. I was starting to doze off despite Megan's impassionate soliloquy. That would I know. When she noticed, she grabbed me by the shoulders and shook me awake. Seeing the frenzied, manic enthusiasm in her eye was enough to banish my drowsiness. For the time being, at least. Okay. I'll come with you to watch the debate. You won't regret it, America, I promise. I was actually starting to get decided despite myself. From my impression of her so far, it seemed to me that Megan was prone to extravagation and overenthusiasm. But something about her tone of voice told me this time the hype was warranted. Somehow I mustered up the mental and emotional strength needed to roll out of my comfortable bed, and I followed Megan out of the dorm. That's a lot of reading, holy shit. I don't know what I expected. I'm reading a fucking visual novel. What the fuck is wrong with me? I was starting to get the impression that getting dragged around campus by Megan would be a recurring theme for my life over the next few months. As we walked across campus, we were joined by more and more students all heading towards the same location. I felt like several of them were staring at me, but maybe it was only in my mind. The swarm of foot traffic honed in on a dorm building near the center of campus. Here we are, Hawkeye Dorm. Wow, it's pretty big. How many students live here? Not that many, actually. About half the space in this building is devoted to the auditorium built specifically for this first debate. Wait, really? Megan nodded and kept heading forward. The debate club must really be a huge deal if the very architecture of the academy was designed to accommodate it. I mean, the fact that it has, like, one specific, like, auditorium that's made specifically for this one debate, and only this debate, that's a pretty big deal. We filed into the auditorium with the rest of the crowd. The room was enormous, with rows upon rows of seats. The stage was empty, except for some unoccupied podiums placed evenly across it. By the time we arrived, the Hawkeye Auditorium was already packed with students, row after row of them, like a field of corn. The mood was excited, anticipatory, almost giddy. It felt more like we were waiting for a sporting event than a debate. I was expecting Megan to return to her usual chatty self, as it seemed to be the kind of atmosphere in which she thrived, a social butterfly in a field of talkative flowers, each one ready to be pollinated with gossip. But instead, Megan was silent, leaning forward with her chin in her hands and her elbows on her knees, focused completely on the empty stage. I quickly counted the podiums that had been set up for the debate. 17? Could that be right? How could a debate be between 17 people even work? The girl sitting to my right nudged me.
Do you have your voting slip?
Huh?
Grab some extras. Here, take one.
She presented me with a sheet of paper filled with names, each with a checkbox next to it. Glancing it over, I recognized the names of Jeb, Marco, and Donald, but the rest were foreign to me. Wow, look at all these people. What kind of name is Rand? Rand? Are Carly and Lindsay the only girls? Megan made a non-committal sound of response. On top of the paper, there were instructions in large, bold fonts. Vote for no more than 9 winners. 9 winners? I thought the point was to pick one champion. Oh, that doesn't happen till the final debate in July. These are just the primary debates. July? But that's months away.
I know, isn't it great?
Megan's eyes were gleaming with the same frenzied sparkle again, and there was that broad smile plastered on her face. drama, the excitement, the tension for 6 months straight. I look forward to it every year. I don't. That sounds similar to like what's been happening like past few months with the presidential debate, which by the time you see this video will have already passed. Fucking kill me. And this year I was lucky enough to be chosen to moderate some of the debates. Well, not just lucky, I worked my butt off to earn that position. I'm just so excited. It's going to be incredible. I'm sure you'll get into the spirit too once you see them in action tonight, America. I forced a smile and nodded as Megan's gaze snapped back onto the stage once more. But internally, I had some reservations. Reservations. What? I don't know. Was Megan going to keep the same level of obsession with the debates for the entire upcoming 6 months? It seemed like it would get exhausting quickly. But I told myself to keep an open mind. Who knew? Maybe I really would get sucked into the hype myself. The only way to find out would be to watch tonight's show. Soon, the lights in the auditorium began to dim. Students quickly found seats and hushed each other, all of them focused on the stage. After a few moments of anticipation, a student walked out onto the stage and greeted the audience. That's Chris Wallace. He was chosen to host the initial debate. Lucky SOB. I couldn't tell whether Megan had meant that comment as a joke or not. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first Grand Ole Academy debate of the 2016 primaries. Okay. The crowd went wild, applauding and cheering. After allowing the hubbub to ebb, the announcer continued. I will be your moderator this evening as we get to know the 17 students who represent the cream of the debate's club crop. By the end of tonight, we will determine which 9 will move to the next debate, held in historic Granite Dorm in exactly 1 month. And now, without further ado, please put your hands together to welcome tonight's debaters. One by one, students walked onto the stage and took their place at their podiums as their names were called in alphabetical order. Each one was greeted with a hearty applause and cheers as soon as they entered. From Sunshine Dorm, Jeb Bush. I recognized the tall third year with the endearing grin from earlier in the day. He stumbled as he nearly tripped over a cable on his way to his podium, but caught himself in time to avoid catastrophe. From Old Line Dorm, Ben Carson. A student with warm eyes and a calm aura entered and took the podium next to Jeb. From Garden Dorm, Chris Christie. A retired student beamed and waved at the crowd with both hands as he took his spot. From Lone Star Dorm, Ted Cruz. He was smiling as he walked onto the stage, but the smile looked desperate, plaintive, anguished. From Golden Dorm, Carly Fiorina. The stretched-out smile that splashed across the student's face seemed to be causing a physical pain rather than an emotional pain of Ted's smile. I don't even know who that is. Is that like a made-up character or whatnot? From Old Dominion Dorm, Jim Gilmore. I had absolutely nothing to say about Jim Gilmore, and I couldn't imagine that anyone else would either. From Palmetto Dorm, Lindsay Graham. Not a girl after all. Whoops. Wait, Lindsay's not a girl name? What? From Natural Dorm, Mike Huckabee. The student came across as friendly enough, but he seemed tired, as if he knew in his heart that his best chance of winning has already come and gone. From Pelican Dorm, Bobby Jindal. Was it possible to be too earnest? From looking at the student's face, it seemed so. From Buckeye Dorm, John Kasich. Remember, it was almost astonishing how little of an impression the student made on me. From Empire Dorm, George Pataki. Somehow this debater made even less of an impression on me than the former one. Ha, rip. From Bluegrass Dorm, Rand Paul. The short boy twisted his thin lips into an almost passive smile as he came onto stage, but despite the lack of natural grace, I sensed a passion in his eye. I also sense I can't speak. From Lone Star Dorm, Rick Perry. In sharp contrast to Rand, the student immediately struck me as a natural people pleaser. He raised and ate the crowd's enthusiasm and took his place. From Sunshine Dorm, Marco Rubio. As Marco came onto the stage, the applause were punctuated with whistles of approval, shrill squeals, and a few cries of, "We love you, Marco!" From Keystone Dorm, Rick Santorum. For some reason, hearing the candidate's last name made me instantly think of something distasteful, but otherwise, there was nothing at all special about him. From Empire Dorm, Donald J. Trump. The volume of the crowd instantly kicked up by a few decibels. A few students even stood to applaud Donald as he came onto the stage, nodding in acknowledgement and smirking smugly as if he knew that he deserved his fanfare. And finally, from Badger Dorm, Scott Walker. As a swell of enthusiasm for Donald, the entrance of the gangly student came across as anticlimactic. He took his place in the final podium to the accompaniment of a polite smatter of applause. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen of Grand Old Academy, your debaters! One final spurt of applause rose and died down quickly as the members of the audience settled in full of anticipation. And here we go! Okay, cool. I don't have to read all of that. At least I hope I don't have to. I tried to pay attention to the debate. I really did. But the combination of jet lag and anxiety about my upcoming classes made it impossible. All of the students' arguments blurred together in my head, and by the time the debate had actually ended, I couldn't remember a tenth of what anyone had said. I think I may have even fallen asleep for a while. What a nigh miraculous, given that there were 17 voices all clamoring over each other, desperate to be heard. I was snapped back into the world of the waking by particularly sustained and passionate bouts of applause. And one more time, let's hear it for our debaters. What a lively start to this year's competition. Remember to drop off your ballots at the door as you leave the auditorium. We'll tally them up and announce the results as soon as we can. So feel free to stick around in the lobby until then. All around me, students were standing up, stretching and chatting with their neighbors. I turned to look at Megan and saw that she abandoned the air of austere focus that she had been cultivating for the last few hours and returned to her regular bubbly self. God. Okay. I'm gonna leave this off here. Holy shit. I've been recording for a while. Alright, I'm gonna play more of this for the demo. But I'm definitely backing this on Kickstarter. I'm gonna put the Kickstarter in the description down below. Back it. This game is gonna be this game is fucking funny already. I already am enjoying every second of this. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this game. Recommend me other games if you know of any. I'm gonna keep doing this because fuck you, I can. Don't forget to be valid choice. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, my lovelies.